Key in our morning meeting begged us, we need to do this topic. I need to talk about whether or not Mike McCarthy, they're winning in spite of Mike McCarthy.
Crazy.
That's it? Just crazy?
People are crazy. They're 5-1. They're 5-1. The dude is doing something right. Stop looking at what happened at the end of the Aaron Rodgers marriage and yesterday in the pandemic.
Can I pose a scenario?
Gosh.
For the sake of moving on from this conversation, but still tying it all in together. Let's say Dallas Cowboys have a good year. They win a division. They get to second round of playoffs.
Okay.
And it gets down to a critical juncture in the game where Mike McCarthy does mismanage the clock. And everybody thinks that that's a game that the Cowboys should have won. Mm-hmm. I know this is hypothetical, but we're doing it for the sake of radio. That next day, depending upon how bad the mismanagement of the clock is, how would you feel about where the Dallas Cowboys should go after that? Will you have confidence that they should move forward with a guy like Mike McCarthy, even though they won those games, and even though there's been slight mismanagements, they still won? Like, where would your mind be after that juncture if that were to hypothetically happen?
Nothing. I wouldn't have.
You would just be fine? You'd be fine? You'd be like, all right, Mike McCarthy's still our coach moving forward? Would you not think about Kellen Moore?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I think a lot of people would.
Because I don't think he's going – first of all, I don't think that anything that people want to point out and say he mismanaged. So I guess Brandon Staley last Sunday went for it on fourth down, so that was the wrong call. He should have did that, right? He didn't get it, so he shouldn't have did it.
But they were getting smacked.
Prior to that, he was doing it, and they were getting it. And then McCarthy backed up. He goes for it. It's a problem. End of the game. He decides to call a timeout, overtime, kick a field goal. They make it.
Okay.
People that look, when you have a problem with someone, you will find anything to turn it into a negative. And this is what is happening with Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys. People are waiting for the bottom to fall out. As I said the other day, I don't give a damn. I'm going to the Super Bowl regardless. I will be there. I don't need the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl. I'm going. I have no rooting interest. But I do know when you start trying to find the littlest things to create a problem for a coach that is winning is ridiculous.
Right. This is why I like Jay's question. And give me a second here because I need to explain where I'm coming from. No. You're a very intelligent person.
Really? I need you to tell me that?
Well, I don't know if you need me to, but since I'm the guy who decides these things, maybe it's good that I say that. Now, the point is that sports can become almost like a religious argument. What do I mean by that? When we were arguing MJ against LeBron before, no amount of facts from either side is going to change your mind. That means you have an undisprovable hypothesis. Science is about you come up with a hypothesis that you can disprove. Right? So if the evidence goes against you, go, okay, we were wrong about this. Sports is much more like religion in that we believe things. No matter what amount of evidence, this is what I believe, you're not going to make me feel any different. So when Jay brings up the clock management, being an intelligent sports, not only former athlete at a very high level, but fan now and media member, Jay is saying, what if the evidence comes in? What an author, not to mention an acclaimed author of important books about social justice in the sports arena. But and that's for real. The Forgotten First, check it out by Keyshawn Johnson. The point is that if Jay is saying, if there's now a new piece of evidence later, do you have a religious point of view about this? I believe what I believe, and that's how I believe. Or are you more of a scientist about this? Here's a new piece of evidence. This is going to change my thinking. If Mike McCarthy mismanages the clock and they lose in the playoffs, does that piece of evidence factor into your judgment?
Yes. But I don't believe that will be the case. I don't believe that. It's, again, I could go back to baseball. Very astute in baseball, played the game. If something happens in the second inning, by the time we get to the eighth inning and the game is over, you never hear the announcer say what happened in the second inning, even though he said this is going to cost the team. You can pick holes in many different cases. I can right now, the greatest coach that I've ever seen do it in Bill Belichick, I can go to a game and say to you, if they would have punted here rather than go for it and miss it, they would have won the game if they'd have just punted. I can do that. That was mismanagement. Bill Belichick, I don't remember exactly what year it was. Several years ago, they played Indianapolis Colts. They go for it, Kevin Falk. barely misses the first down by that much. If they would have punted, they probably could have won the game because 3 and out, Tom Brady gets the ball back. They're in a better field position. You can couch it any way you want to. I just don't understand why do we have to poke holes in a team that has run 5 in a runoff.
You do understand because they're the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous stuff.
But it's not ridiculous.
Yes, it is. It's ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. I hear your reasoning about why you think it's ridiculous because, look, we should treat them like every other team. The fact is, like, they are the most talked about team probably in the history of sports, right? We talk about them even when they've been down. Like, they still dominate conversations regardless of whether people like it or not. Like, they are the hot subject every single year. So that's why I say I know you don't believe it will happen, but if it does.
Well, then I'll deal with it when it does.
Fair. I know you will.
I'm not about to keep on every day.
Yeah, I know.
Talking about the same damn thing about, he mismanaged the game. They just won. The hell's wrong with people?
This is Jay. I think makes another good point in the sense, Key, that
2 good points
everyone wants people to be looking at them, right? Like the Cowboys like the shine, they like the attention, they like the press. It means bigger business. You're more famous if you play for them, etc. But when people look at you, criticism, the idea that we can all critique people is based on the idea that a cat can look at a king. Like no matter what you say, who are you to judge that person? I'm just a cat. I can look at a king and make my own judgment. The Cowboys are the king of football media coverage.
I hope they go 16-1.
A lot of cats are going to judge them.
80. Just because it makes no sense.
But
let them
judge
lose because of him. And then we can have that conversation. Until then, miss me with that.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.